Here, there we go. Yeah. Jazakallah khair, Amma. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum to our Muslim brothers. Welcome to our non-Muslim friends. And I want to thank you all on behalf of the children of Israel, of Gaza, and the women of Gaza, the elders of Gaza, and to those who have been, for the past 5 months plus, been living in a very horrible conditions that I'm still in shock and denial to digest, living in a time where we claim to have a global village where whatever happens in one corner is known by the other corner of this earth. And I want to share my observation for the past 5 months as I have been running from one place to another place, trying to provide resilience and restore hope into people's minds and hearts, and help them to translate the negative energy that is built as a result of frustrations, as a result of seeing graphic images on social media and not being able to do much. Frustration as a result of hearing our own officials talking nonsense, going out of the context and not being Canadians, not being themselves, because our Canadian values have been attacked by our own officials, unfortunately. Canada has been known to be historically as a peace broker, and that image has been shattered, unfortunately. That image has been destroyed, and the one who destroyed it are not aliens from outside, it's from within. It's within our society, our government. And we need not to allow these feelings of despair, feelings of helplessness, and cripple us from continuing to keep going and do something. Yes, we might not be able indeed to change the political system, and I gave up hope on our political system, by the way. Yes, I used to be a fan of CBC. Since arriving to Canada, my radio in the car is always tuned to CBC because I felt this is the station that can keep me informed, that can speak the truth, can speak justice. But lately in one of the demonstrations, I stood up into one of the journalists with their cameraman and said to them, I know you're only employee, but I want you to pass this message from me to your own managers. They're disgusting. And I said to them, I no longer listen to CBC. I no longer identify with CBC because it have failed to stand for what they should be standing for, and they should just pack their stuff and go home. This is it. I've been running from one campus to another community center, to another mosque, to whatever gatherings, and say to people, we need to translate this negative energy into a powerful energy that would make us be determined. Because no matter how hard and challenging our mission is, it's not gonna be as hard and difficult and brutal as it is for the people of Gaza. Yesterday I was in Victoria, BC, and I was speaking about what's happening to the children of Gaza. And I wasn't paying attention that my own words could be triggering a PTSD into some of the audience who were present. Because when I started talking, I said, who's from Gaza or has connection with Gaza? And only 4 people raised their hand. And I said, that speaks for the large crowd who are present today, that they're here because they're not originally Palestinian, but they feel mandated and called to respond to a humanitarian cause, for something that they feel obligated to stand for. And as it was going on, I heard one of the ladies crying and she had a nerve breakdown. I felt horrible. I felt horrible because whatever I said have triggered the avalanche of memories that she lived herself. It turned out that she's someone who fled the war in Gaza, luckily, and made it here to Canada. And afterwards, she shared with me things that I could not personally absorb. And the secret of resilience, the secret of empowerment, the hope that have been using to empower people wherever I go will be simply coming from what I have heard from people who have come from Gaza. What I have heard from people in Gaza talking about how determined they are to stand up and never give up. How determined they are to stay rooted in their land and never leave it, regardless of how difficult and severe the consequences is. We cannot afford to lose this war. We need to stand. And I've been saying that in public and I got misquoted. My brother David knows what I'm talking about, because the attack on pro-Palestinian advocates has been aggressive and ugly. And I continue to say it, we are with the same trench with the people of Gaza. They are living under the bombs, but we are also living their pain. And we will continue to stand up. We might not be able to change the whole world. We might not be able to immediately stop the fire, the war, but we will continue to do whatever we're able to. And walillah alhamd, praise be to God the Mighty, we've been able to do something. The shift in the paradigm, not necessarily because of their love to Palestinian people, but because they found that they have no choice but to respond to the massive engagement of people across the world. So tap yourself on the shoulder and say, I'm proud of myself for being able to do something. I'm proud of myself to at least send an email or make a phone call, or even to stay at the end of the day by myself, cry and supplicate to mighty the God and say that this is the least I can do. And your voice and my voice and her voice and all of our efforts organized will be able to make the difference one day. Right, my brother David? We were talking about the cycle of a change every 40 years, and I was misquoted, by the way, again in public, and I was attacked for that. And I said, listen, we cannot ignore the history. We cannot ignore the teachings of our scripts. The teachings of our scripts have told us aggression and oppression will never reveal and maintain. A day will come when the aggression will end. And a day will come when those who were oppressed, like the children of Israel who were oppressed by Pharaoh, will one day be able to breathe and stand up because of what they have believed in. And we also have the same belief that one day this earth we're all living in, one day we'll be living in peace and tranquility. Yeah, I might disagree with you about the end of the world conspiracy. And we do have people who believe even in Islam about this. But I'm always optimistic and believing that we will be able to make that change. And that change will be coming a bit by a bit, a drop by a drop, to create a huge ocean. And that what will be changing the conditions of those who have unfortunately given up on the international community leadership. They're all hypocrites. They don't deserve our respect. But the one who deserves our respect is people like yourself, who have conscience, who have morals, who have principles, and they're acting upon their own morals, principles. I could see that the dates are being distributed and the water is being placed, and I think we're almost there for the break of the fast. So I will stop here and say, please do not give up, because the children of Gaza cannot afford us to give up standing for them. The elders of Gaza, the woman I was talking to yesterday who put me in tears the rest of the night, cannot afford for us to say, I'm concerned about my job. I feel tired. I feel fatigue. No. The parents who at the end of the day in Gaza try to find a corner, not a home, a corner where they can safely sit their children to sleep and pray and hope that they will be able to wake up the following morning. Or a mom who have secured a can of vegetables by struggling so much to look for something like this because A, she does not have the money to buy it. B, she cannot leave her home because she knows the minute she leave home she will be shot. Cannot afford you to give up on them. We will continue to stand for the people of Gaza. We'll continue to stand for justice for all affairs. Indigenous people are people that I belong to. I have spoken about their cause a lot in my public speaking because we both identify with the struggle that we both are going through. The people of South Africa have demonstrated to the whole world that we are not going to be intimidated. No one can silence us. No one can shut us down. We will continue to struggle for justice and peace. And one day we will be able to see it as South Africa have seen it finally. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.